every misfortune hides a blessing. A poor farmer lived in a small village with his wife and children. They were so poor that they only had one horse to plow their field. One day the farmer was plowing his field when he felt something strange in the ground. It was not hard, like a stone, nor soft, like sand. He stopped his horse and went to see what it was. As he got closer, he saw that it was a large sack. The farmer ran back to his house and called his neighbor, saying, "Please come quickly and help me open this sack." The neighbor came, and together they opened the sack. To their surprise, they found 25 gold coins inside. The farmer's face lit up with joy. "I'm so happy," he said, "that we can finally pay our debts with this money." However, his neighbor disagreed. No, my friend," he said, "this treasure belongs to all of us who own fields around here. After all, it appeared in your field, didn't it?" The farmer was disappointed, but there was no use arguing. So they decided to divide the treasure equally among them, and each took his share of the money home. The next day, the farmer's children came running into the house. "Father, Father," they cried, "our schoolteacher says that we are so poor we have nothing to offer her as a gift. All the other children brought her flowers or fruit, but we don't even have enough food for ourselves." The farmer sighed. He had wanted to buy food for his children and pay off his debts with the money from the sack, but now he had to give some away. Thinking quickly, he gave each child a few coins and sent them off to the market to buy whatever they liked best. "And don't spend all your money at once," he said. "Leave a little for your mother." And the children thanked him and left. When they had gone, the farmer's wife burst into tears. "Why did you give them money? Now they will have nothing to eat." "Don't worry," the farmer said. "They'll be fine. Just wait and see." A little while later, the children returned home, each carrying a heavy bag. "What's in these bags?" asked the farmer's wife. "We bought all the fruit in the market, all the bread and meat, and many other things," replied one of the children. "We also bought a beautiful bouquet of flowers for our teacher." "That's wonderful," said the farmer's wife. "But how could you afford to buy all that? You didn't have much money." "We didn't spend all our money," said one of the children, "because we met a beggar and gave him some money." "You silly children," said the farmer's wife. "Why did you do that? We already have enough mouths to feed at home. Why should you give money to a beggar?" "Well, Mother," said one of the children, "the beggar was very hungry, and we couldn't just leave him without any food." The farmer's wife shook her head disapprovingly. "You foolish children," she said. "Giving away our money like that won't get us anywhere." But the farmer just smiled and said nothing. Over the next few days, the family ate delicious food and enjoyed everything they had purchased. Soon, however, their food began to run out, and they realized they would soon be hungry again. "Oh, Father," cried one of the children, "we're out of food again." "Can't we go to the market and buy some more?" "Of course," said the farmer, "but this time you must remember to save some food for the poor beggar. We may not have much ourselves, but he has nothing." The children promised they wouldn't forget and set off for the market. A few hours later, they returned with more food, and the beggar followed close behind them. "Here, take this food," said the children. "We have plenty, and you look hungry." "Thank you," said the beggar. Then he disappeared into the forest. "Why did you give him food?" asked the farmer's wife. "He'll steal it and won't leave us anything." "But, Mother," said one of the children, "the beggar was very grateful and promised to pay us back." "He promised," scoffed the farmer's wife. "How could you be so naive? Beggars always beg." "They never pay back," The farmer just smiled and said nothing. Just then, a royal carriage drove up to the house. 2 men dressed in fine clothes got out. "Is this the house of the kind family who gave food to the poor beggar?" they asked. "Yes," replied the farmer, "it is." "How do you know about this?" "We saw you from the road," said one of the men. "We were looking for a family to give alms to, and you were the first we found. Your children told us you had given food to the beggar, and so we've come to reward you." The farmer's wife and children were overjoyed. Finally, someone was appreciating their good deeds. They thanked the 2 men and accepted the gifts they had brought. After the carriage had driven away, the farmer turned to his wife. "See, I told you everything would be all right in the end." His wife blushed. She had been so wrong. Not only had they not suffered for giving food to the beggar, but they had received a generous gift for their kindness. From that day on, the farmer's family lived in comfort. The children continued to give food to the beggar, and every time they did, a king's carriage would drive up and bring them valuable gifts. Soon, the farmer was no longer poor. He had enough money to buy new farm animals, tools, and clothes for his family. And all because he had not judged the situation too quickly. Often we think that bad things happen for no reason. We lose our job, our house burns down, or our relationship breaks apart. But if we only look at the bad things and ignore the good, we will always live in fear. In reality, every misfortune hides a blessing. We just have to find it. This story teaches us not to judge an event too quickly. We never know what the future may hold. The farmer's field may have produced little grain that year. But thanks to the sack of gold coins, he was able to buy seeds for the next harvest and live through the winter. Had he complained about his bad harvest and done nothing, he might have starved. Instead, he used his wits to turn a bad situation into a good one. In the same way, we can find the blessing hidden in every misfortune if we only look hard enough. Don't let yourself be defeated by life's ups and downs. Remember, every misfortune hides a blessing. Did you like this story? Then stay tuned to Heart Connects Mind for more stories like this one. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss a new video.